Sometimes when a car is redesigned, you can hardly tell the difference. Other times the car is completely transformed. This Kia Sorento, well, it's been completely transformed. The old Sorento used to be a body-on-frame SUV. It was good off-road, but it wasn't that pleasant on-road. For its 2011 redesign, the Sorento moved to the car-based platform. Now, given the way most people actually use their SUVs for hauling their family around rather than going off-road, turns out that was a pretty good move. We bought two Sorentos to test, an LX 4-cylinder and a loaded EX V6. Both had the optional third-row seat and all-wheel drive. Some of the Sorento's biggest improvements are in the way the car handles. The steering is responsive, it's fairly quick, it's also well weighted. There's not much body roll in the corners. Emergency handling is stable and secure, aided by well-calibrated standard stability control. This generation of the Sorento doesn't quite have the off-road capability of the old one. However, it is plenty capable of the light-duty off-road situations that most users are going to find themselves in. This time around, the Sorento comes with a 4-cylinder engine. The 2.4-liter, it offers adequate power. Now, it's pretty well refined, but it does get a bit raspy under hard acceleration. We have no such complaints about the optional 3.5-liter V6. That engine is refined, it sounds good, it also has plenty of power. Surprisingly, given that the V6 has about 100 horsepower more than the 4-cylinder, the two engines get similar fuel economy in our test. Part of this can be attributed to both powertrains using a very efficient and smooth shifting 6-speed automatic. The Sorento is fairly quiet inside. Wind noise, road noise, they're both at reasonable levels. What is more bothersome, and is the Sorento's main weak point, is its ride. It can be stiff and jittery, impacts punch through. It's especially noticeable if you get the EX version with its lower profile 18-inch wheels and tires. These don't do as good of a job at isolating you from the road. The stiff ride is something of a shame because the Sorento's interior is a nice place to be. It bridges the gap between a small and a large SUV. It's a really handy size for families. Adding to the Sorento's handy appeal is an optional third-row seat. To fold the second row, you get a good-sized alleyway through here. But once you're in the back, you're going to find it's mostly best sized for kids. The seat's low to the floor, not that much room. Still, it's handy to have. The second row seat can fit adults as well as kids. There's a good amount of space back here. The seat back even reclines. One thing though, we wish the cushion was a bit higher to improve thigh support. We don't have any complaints about thigh support for the front seats. These seats are well shaped, they're supportive, they're comfortable. The leather seats in the EX version are even a bit better because they have a power adjustable lumbar support. No matter what trim level of Sorento you buy, you're going to be treated to a well-finished, modern-styled interior. Now, the dashboard plastics, they're hard, but they're nicely grained. For the most part, the controls are simple and well-designed. Everything's up high, big knobs, big buttons, well-labeled. But one annoying flaw with the controls for the rear window wiper, they're to the left of the steering wheel on the dashboard. They're big buttons, easy enough to see, but we'd rather have all the wiper controls here on the stalk. That way you don't have to search for them when you need them. So despite a few minor flaws, the Sorento is something of a Goldilocks among SUVs. It's not too big, it's not too small. Instead, it hits a really sweet spot that should work well for a lot of families.